Hi, I'm Joseph Murphy, and welcome to Alien Brain Fog, a science-focused podcast on memory, identity, and the systems of oppression that affect both. How do you know who you really are?
Long COVID and medical gaslighting.
It's an ontological crisis.
I don't even see color.
Are aliens real?
In the last episode, I gave you my hypothesis. The reason everyone in the world is a little crazy right now is we are all undergoing an ontological crisis. So what the heck is an ontological crisis, and how do you get out of it? I'm a word nerd. I love etymology. That's the study of how words evolve over time. Whenever you see the ology part of a word, it means study of. Like sociology is a study of how society works, and psychology is a study of how minds work, and so on. Ont comes from the Greek word for being or existence. So ontology is a study of what it means to exist. What are you here for? An ontological crisis occurs when the nature of reality is very different than when you thought it was. You're shown evidence that is so fundamentally against the world you believed you lived in that you don't know what to believe anymore. It's a metaphysical crisis, like Barbie leaving BarbieLand or realizing aliens are real. Now, in everyday terms, it's a crisis of faith. We have faith, we understand the world around us, but we don't know what real is because our brains aren't designed to see reality. I had an ontological crisis when I experienced systemic racism. I went down a rabbit hole. I heard a rumor that we don't live in a capitalist democracy. Some believe we live in a neo-feudalistic state ruled by a plutocracy, that slavery never ended. Some believe we just traded in chattel slavery for wage slavery and that we are not as free as we thought we were. Does the world still feel like your home, or do you no longer recognize the world you're living in? Many believe in a phenomenon called the Mandela effect and believe that they live in a changed alternate reality. So let's look at what ontological stability looks like. This paper speaks specifically to the impact of home ownership on the sense of self, but we can extrapolate. Has your society changed recently so much that you no longer recognize it? Has your level of material wealth changed significantly? Have your daily routines been interrupted? Do you feel in control of your life and free of surveillance? If you answered yes, you are likely experiencing ontological stability. Now, if you answered no to one or more of those, odds are you are in crisis. Now let's look at a few things that could cause an ontological crisis. Home ownership. Do you have a place in the world? Is your home secure? Or do you constantly worry that you might lose your home and be unable to find a new one? A crisis of faith. Is your religion not what you thought it was? Has it become more conservative or more lenient? Are elements of your religion at odds with established science, otherwise known as reality? COVID and the government's response to it? Misinformation spread faster than the government could control it. People expect it to be safe and they no longer feel safe. And we've had a lot of people die recently. Lockdown. There's endless months of lockdown forced us to re-examine our freedoms. Long COVID has increased mental illness and disability. The World Health Organization estimates over 700 million infections. Current studies suggest 10 to 20% will develop long-term symptoms. Many people are experiencing disability for the first time. The Me Too movement clearly showed that we are living in a patriarchy with large numbers of predatory men. Women do not feel safe. And it's getting worse, not better. Gender studies. Now, the existence of trans men and women and non-binary people does not fit the established worldview of some people. Now, rather than integrate new evidence, they reject it and say it can't be real They truly believe that trans people are mentally ill or demons, aliens. The existence of UFOs or UAPs, if non-humans are real, well, there goes all of humanity's specialness. We aren't God's chosen people, we're just one of his children. Aliens could be so far advanced from us that we could be like squirrels to them. The war between Russia and Ukraine, Israel, Palestine, they have shown us that the world is not as safe as we thought it was. We've got Donald Trump. He has shown us that any idiot with a following can get into power. And then we started looking at our other leaders. And climate change, having to acknowledge that the human race could be extinct within 100 years. All combined, the world we live in is not the world we thought we lived in. We're not seeing the full picture because our brains, they don't see reality. They see what they need to see to survive. And now we have to integrate new data. Now we have to integrate the fact that we are not alone. Like it's too much for our mind and our body to handle, so we disassociate. Now, how do you solve the problem? How do you solve an ontological crisis? Now, the answer is simple to explain, but it's hard to do. All you have to do is change your mind. Now, changing your mind is not easy. That's where all of your programming is. Everything you believe to be real. The hardest part is realizing that your brain might be wrong. Here are 4 steps to solve any problem. Number 1, admit reality. You have to acknowledge the problem. Number 2, evaluate and consider solutions. 3, choose the best option. 4, evaluate the outcome. Now, the first step to overcoming an ontological crisis is to acknowledge it. If it seems like the world is not what you thought it was, it's time to act like Bo Burnham and go inside, because that's where all of the work has to take place. You have to evaluate your beliefs, because many of your core beliefs are not supported by reality. Now, when confronted with reality that is against your beliefs, you can either continue to live in denial or you can integrate the new data. In an ontological crisis, the main problem is you, because you were wrong about the nature of reality. You believed something that is fundamentally not true. Maybe you believed that your husband was going to be with you for the rest of your life, and then he left or he died. The world is different than you thought it was. Maybe you believed there were only 2 genders. Maybe you believed Roe v. Wade was established case law, and now reality. The first step to solving any problem is to acknowledge the problem. Break out of denial. It's time to stop the lies and deal with reality as it is, not as we wish it was. So, how can you tell if something is real? Now, there are 2 ways: science and magic, or faith if it helps the Christians, or magical thinking if it helps the scientists. Science or magic. In a future episode, I'll go over the differences between them and when to use each of them. Join me next time on Alien Brain Fog as we take a closer look at reality. What is the rule of law, and are we currently living under it? Thank you for joining me. Be kind. The world's a little messed up right now.
Long COVID and medical gaslighting.
It's an ontological crisis.